As long as you keep sustaining Nigeria, you are sustaining doomsday. The more we remain in that contraption, the more our people are being killed. Every day you hear of negotiations, kidnappings and negotiations with terrorists. Imagine terrorists coming majestically for a talk with a government that claim that they are foreign invaders. They are foreign invaders and you are sitting down to negotiate. What are you negotiating? But now it's obvious there is no war. The only war you have is against the Igbos and Biafra and Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. So the mention of bandits and terrorists is actually pointing towards Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. Let's prove this. Only those who are smart would understand what Nigeria is doing to the people. What Nigeria is doing to every nation trapped under that contraption. You must understand that your life is in danger, the life of your children is in danger, your future is in danger, and everything about you is in comatose. You must know that we are in serious mess. As long as you keep sustaining Nigeria, you are sustaining doomsday, and it will come upon you like a thief. Please share this video because I want to bring your attention to something very important that I saw on Daily Trust. I think they call that paper Daily Trust. Now I want you to go on social media and look for Daily Trust and see what they posted coming from the president of Nigeria, Bola Ahmed Tinubu. He said, "We are winning the war against bandits, terrorists, IPOB." This is what I want to explain to you very, very much in details so you will understand. I'll take it very simple. You must know something, that whenever Nigeria or any Nigerian or anybody who is controlling affairs or a representative of Nigeria makes a statement, if you are not intellectual enough, you will not understand, especially in the times when there are crises, when people are complaining, when people are seeking for freedom, when people are thinking of being delivered from the evil that has gripped them. You must know that we are in a serious mess, because the more we remain in that contraption, the more our people are being killed. Don't you notice that every day there is a news of killing, maiming, so much so that it has now been normalized? Nobody is seeing it as serious anymore. In fact, it's now statistics. It just tell you so number of people have been killed today. That's all. Activists are not talking. Preachers of the gospel of Christ are not talking. The imams of the gospel of Muhammad are not talking, because of course we know that it is coming from the Islamic program of taking over properties and taking over lands of people and controlling the territory. The idea is Islamization in the context of Fulanization. So Fulanization is a program to enhance Islamization. And if you think that your land right now is spared, just know that the more you admit and the more you sustain Nigeria, your land is not spared. You are waiting for your turn to happen. It will come to you. You are waiting for your turn, because they would carry out their program no matter how long. But the more you want to keep what is sustaining or helping them, or what facilitates their movement and activity, which is Nigeria, that is what facilitates their movement and their activities. If there was no Nigeria, for God's sake, Oduduwa land will protect their land and have borders. Biafra land will protect their land and have borders. The Hausa land will protect their land and have borders. If you as a Fulani man, a terrorist, coming from the north, trying to penetrate through Benue into Biafra land, you would be stopped at the border. In fact, at the border, you'll be caught. Do you want to come with private jet or whatever means you want to come? You would be stopped because there is a fundamental check in everybody. It's just like somebody who is going to Benin Republic from Lagos. You are stopped. Everybody comes off the vehicle. You are searched. The vehicle is searched. But of course, Lagos and Benin are the same. They are from the same lineage. They are the same people. But because there is a division, they have been divided, and so there's a border. And that is colonial anyways. It is the program of the colonials to divide the people and make them feel different from one another. The same way also, if we use that tactics to make sure that Biafra land is having its own territorial integrity and sovereignty, Oduduwa land having its own sovereignty, Yoruba land having its own sovereignty, no terrorist will come into your land to kill. How will they enter? Then you know that you are only fighting internal enemies, those who are into criminality or doing so many things, those who have decided to go criminal. Then your soldiers or your police or your armed forces will concentrate to know where the problem is coming from. But now under Nigeria, you don't know where the problem is coming from. Everything gets complicated because every day you hear of negotiations, kidnappings and negotiations with terrorists. Imagine terrorists coming majestically for a talk with a government that claim that they are foreign invaders. They are foreign invaders and you are sitting down to negotiate. What are you negotiating? Have you ever seen? You can imagine what the United States is doing to Venezuela. In fact, once they say they are threats, they are importing or bringing in drugs into their country, they are stopping them, on the sea, international waters for that matter. They bomb their boats. You know why? You don't treat invasion with kid gloves. That is the problem I have with these so-called one Nigeria people. They are so dangerous because they are not looking at the permanent solution. They are only looking at what will sustain the criminality for them to keep getting what they are getting daily. Because if you are intellectual enough, you'll understand that the only way you can get better and improve is to have a permanent solution to every problem. That is when you talk about real success. Now, what am I trying to say? I was talking about the statement of the president on Daily Trust. We are winning. Now, take note. We are winning the war against bandits, terrorists, IPOB. And now, let's look at it. What happened 2 weeks ago or so, or that have been happening? Terrorists are being negotiated with, right? Is that a war? That's not war. That is discussion. They are being recruited into the military or into the system. They are given VIP rehabilitation programs and brought back into the system and put in the military, in the police force and other force. They are being retained in the system. These are invaders. Some of you have forgotten that they themselves claimed that these people are invaders from Mali, from Somalia, from Niger Republic, from other places, from Sudan, from dangerous people from different places coming together because they want to take the territories of the people. Today, these same people are already occupying the lands that belong to locals in Benue and Plateau and some other parts of the north. They are in the indigenous lands of these people, whereas the people are in IDP camps. The government is not doing anything about it. Nobody's doing anything about it. The thing is, nobody's talking about it. The media, the mainstream media in Nigeria is not talking about it. Nobody is talking and discussing about it. But what they are doing is to negotiate, to keep sustaining the narrative of this terrorists. You saw what happened last time. I told you the other time that I was watching the video and I saw these terrorists coming in majestically on their bikes, and their vehicles, and they came in with weapons, everything, and they came to discuss. In fact, the Nigeria team was waiting. They had to come in. The terrorists were not waiting for them to come. They were waiting for the terrorists to come. And they negotiated, they discussed. That is not winning the battle. That is not winning a war. That is absorbing invaders into your system. That is not winning. That is defeat. So if the president of Nigeria says they are winning the war against bandits and terrorists, who do you think now they are referring to? Because they are admitting and retaining and absorbing terrorists who are invaders from Mali, from different parts of the Sahel, from Futa Jalon, coming all the way into the territory of the north, trying to go into the south and into the middle belt and other places. They have occupied territories in the middle belt, in other parts of the north, and they are invaders, as also confirmed by the Nigeria authorities. So these things have been confirmed. Now you are absorbing them and giving them responsibilities in your government, to serve in the military, to serve in other sensitive areas. You even said that they have the right to compete, to be voted for, to occupy positions, political positions, and to even be the president of the contraption called Nigeria. What does that mean? That simply means that you have already opened it up and told us that this place has no territorial integrity. The Nigeria contraption is not about the territories, it's about who controls the nations that are trapped under that name. So the name is used to trap the people, and then anybody could invade, and the survival of the fittest. Let's just come in, let's share the loot together. And as much as they are able to keep terrorizing the people on behalf of the government, and then they can now be absorbed into the government and the loot will be shared. Now if you absorb them, it doesn't mean that you have defeated them, because you are not winning any war. You are actually absorbing the enemies, dealing with the people you call your citizens, taking over their lands, and the people now going to IDP camps, whereas the terrorists are taking over their lands. And now you're absorbing the terrorists, clapping for them and giving them resources and appreciating them and making them feel okay in the places they have taken over, in the territories they have taken over, which belong to other people. And the people who own them, who are supposed to be the true Nigerians, are in IDP camps, and the terrorists coming from the Sahel are the ones taking over. And you are negotiating and absorbing them into your military, which means you are giving them more power to control territories under the narrative Nigeria. That is absorbing them, and that is not winning a war. That is only being defeated if truly you were waging a war with them. But now it's obvious there is no war. The only war you have is against the Igbos and Biafra and Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. So the mention of bandits and terrorists is actually pointing towards Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. Let's prove this. In the south, in the southeast, every part is militarized. The military has taken over the checkpoints. Every corner you see the military. Everything about the southeast is military. What is happening there? Boko Haram is not there. ISIS is not there. IS in West Africa, or whatever they call all these Ansaru and all this stuff, they are not there. They are basically in lands that belong to some of the northerners. They have displaced the people and they are occupying their lands. They are there. You are not going there. They're not. Their places are not militarized. You don't have checkpoints like that in those places. You are not surrounding the community, the communities that have been taken over, to make sure that you deal with the terrorists and get them off, so that you can return the people who own those properties. You are not doing anything about all of that in the north, but you are in the southeast, militarizing the whole place, causing constituent nuisance, extorting the people, taking the resources, having their leader in the dungeon of the DSS. Mazi Nnamdi Kanu is in the dungeon of the DSS. They are not releasing him. They are discussing with terrorists, but they are not discussing with him. And they are talking about winning a war. Which war do you think they are winning? For instance, they went to Kenya to kidnap him, terrorized him, and dealt with him and tortured him for 8 days, brought him back, have kept him in the confines of their dungeon For the past 4 years, his health is depreciating. Nobody's talking about it. They are still on it, talking and pacing here and there in the courts, manipulating everything. The NMA this, NMA that, seek health this, let's do this fast, and let's submit this and counter affidavit. We are progressing. Oh, go to the appeal court. Oh, acquitted. Go to the Supreme Court. Oh, he was illegally rendition. Oh, come back to the high courts, manipulating things here and there for 4 years now, and they say they are winning the war because, let me tell you why. They have the people who would have stood their ground and caused the whole of Biafra land to shake. They have them in their hands. These are the people who are supposed to be on the DOS and who are supposed to be calling the shots on behalf of IPOB. So they have these people in their hands, and that is why they say they are winning the war, because they have taken over these people. And so as long as they have these people, there is nothing that will happen. They will continue to do what they want to do, and so they are winning by controlling the DOS, especially some of the members of the DOS who compromised and sold Mazi Nnamdi Kanu out. I know it's not all of them, but some of them, whether in the DOS or in IPOB generally, design concepts that would have helped them to create and use their raw materials to create finished goods for themselves and make more things. Look at how intelligent we are in Biafra land. Lots of people with intelligence, whether in science, in technology, whatever aspect, but we don't have the ability because we cannot create anything effective or do finished goods or fund projects because we are under the spell of Nigeria, and Nigeria is a doomed place, a place of doom and sustenance of poverty, so that you will continue to be under the colonial masters. I want to tell you, please, we need to rise up this time around and change the narrative. I keep saying it. We must come together, not under the auspices of the DOS. IPOB stands strong. IPOB is strong, but we need a fresh team. Those who are on DOS platform, they keep discussing. Those who have sold Mazi Nnamdi Kanu on that platform, they keep having meetings with them daily. So that platform is a dangerous platform, because though it is occupied by people you don't know, because you don't know who among them were part of selling Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, because Mazi Nnamdi Kanu was sold by them. So we must set a new platform. I'm telling you, those of you who believe in new platform, not people who are envious and angry and bitter, and people who keep grudge, whether I've offended you or you've offended me, or whatever you think that we have done to one another. If you have a clear conscience, you would keep it and take it away. Keep it away. Come, let's negotiate and talk. Even Christ said, come, let us reason together. Though your sins be as scarlet. Go and read Isaiah chapter 1 verse. Is it verse Isaiah chapter 1, go towards the end. Though your sins be as scarlet. Reasoning, even God calls us to reason with Him. You need to reason together with people and come to compromise. No matter how much we have offended, the main thing is the freedom we need and what we want to achieve as a people. Our freedom is more important than the quarrel and the activities. So if we have had issues, no matter who you are, whether in the accountability group initially, or those of you who are hating with Simon, who are hating me for nothing, I don't hate Simon. I've told you guys several times, I don't hate Simon. In fact, I loved him so much that I was doing everything. I was not demanding for anything. I was working like I was being paid for nothing. And that was why I was angry, because of the situation of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. I was angry that people were just manipulating things. So those places where you see me display anger and talk against things that look like we are trying to bring in the old, behavior into the system. It is the anger of what has happened to Mazi Nnamdi Kanu and what is really happening and where we are that is making me react. Not because I hate you or have any issues with you. No, I might offend you. That's part of it. But please, that doesn't mean I justify it. But that is what happened. So it should help us reason on how we can move forward, rather than thinking of how we're going to crash, destroy one another. I know a lady who was close to me in Biafra struggle, very close to me, and all she's doing now is going around to destroy me for nothing, just because I am angry that she was playing double face. The reason what separated us, what caused my anger against her, was because of a double face. hey, this is happening. Wow, you know about this. Why don't you tell me? Let's go and discuss it. No, don't call me. I don't want everybody to know I'm part of it. I don't want anybody to know that I'm the one. Blah, blah, blah. What kind of behavior is that? That's hypocrisy. And you call yourself a preacher, you call yourself a Christian, you call yourself one who teaches the word of God, and you organize fellowships online and you talk to people. For God's sake, where is that spirit coming from? That's a devilish spirit. And all you are doing now is go around to blackmail me and talk about me and try to destroy me. We don't need all of that. We need to get our freedom. The most important thing for me is our freedom. So come together. Let's come together and change the narrative. I'm looking forward to that, coming together. Thank you so much. Enjoy the rest of your day, and please make sure you are doing the right thing. It's time for us to be free. Thank you.
Kelechi